You guys, what's up? What's up? I told you that I was going to bring you a reputable source, and who's more reputable to me than Nancy Grace? I've been following her since the Casey Anthony case, and we know she gets very, very passionate, some would say over dramatic about cases, but she's talking about David and Celeste. And I'm going to do a little commentary. You can watch this entire video on YouTube if you do not want to hear my commentary. So let's go.
Breaking news tonight. The singer David Anthony Burke, known as David, it looks like D4vd, has fled his $20,000 a month home, breaking a very expensive lease. Why? Why run out and flee your home in the middle of the night? Are you concerned about what forensic evidence is found in the home, or does it hold bad memories? This is a blood-soaked video emerges after a teen girl, just 13 years old when she goes missing, Celeste, is found dead in the trunk of his Tesla. LAPD, why no arrest?
Okay, so once again, you can view this video in its entirety. I'm only going to the pivotal things about the David and Celeste case that some content creators or just people that's plainly speaking on it has gotten a little bit confused. So once again, here we go.
An integral part of any homicide investigation is a timeline. It's critical. Based on a timeline, you can alibi people, you can unalibi other people that you're looking at as a suspect. It changes everything. And in the last hours, a video has emerged potentially placing this little girl, just 13 years old when she goes missing, at a David D4vd concert in Maryland on August 24. Significance. Very quickly, Dave Mack joining me, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Dave Mack, when was Celeste's body found in David Burke's Tesla trunk?
She was found on September the 8th.
And it had been sitting out on the street in posh Hollywood Hills for weeks that we know of. So that gives me a timeline. That's what I'm getting at. And this will be very significant when we have Dr. Kendall Crowns, renowned medical examiner, explain the degree of decomp in this little girl's body. So if she is alive, if this is in fact her in the video, August 24, and then we've got September 7, that gives me a timeline. Let's take a look at the video right now. This video has been circulating. Video from @ClipsOfDavid on TikTok.
Now, you know, a lot of people are saying that that is not Celeste that is up there on that balcony. But let me tell you, they already confirmed that the young woman up there on that balcony is the same young woman that was found in that frunk with the black tube top and the jeans. So this most definitely was Celeste.
Now, I'm going to come back to you on that, Melissa, because I don't think she was living with her family anymore. She was at one time, and then she goes missing. And according to neighbors that we have heard about tonight, she had been living with this grown man, David Anthony Burke, a.k.a. David, for a long time. Some sources date her relationship back to her age 11. Did you see that picture of her as a little girl? Yeah, age 11. We can establish age 13. You are seeing video from @ClipsOfDavid on TikTok. Castillo, look at this. People are saying, no, that's not her. So it's a woman a young girl that looks just like her, that is wearing her clothes, that is in a balcony reserved for special guests and family. And Moses Castillo. Oh, by the way, this is from @ClipsOfDavid on TikTok. Moses, same clothes. People are saying, oh, wait, I don't think that's her. It sure looks like her. Who should I believe? Them or my lying eyes?
Yes, I believe it is her, and I believe many people also believe it's her. I've been getting several DMs on my social media with that same video saying, "Oh my gosh, he killed her in August."
Guys, this is from a Silver Springs, Maryland concert, August 24. And if true, these photos create a timeline from August 24 until her decomposing body is found in Burke, artist known as David Tesla, in an impound lot on September 8th. It's reported the Tesla was parked on the street for about a month before being reported abandoned. There is, I assume that is the front of the tow lot.
Now, this part is a little bit confusing. Now, remember that concert was August 24, right? So we got 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That's one whole week. And then we got 7 days in September, right? Because she was found in the frunk on the 8th day, right? So it wouldn't be weeks. It would literally be 2 weeks at best. But there has to been some time when she was even, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but taken somewhere and dismembered. Now, a lot of people were saying David was on tour. Yeah, he could have still been on tour. He was in Maryland, but her body still got to that house over there. How long does it take for remains to start to create a smell? Okay. The car, the neighbors claim, was out there for at least a month. But we know she had been alive at least 2 weeks before she was found in that frunk. We know that.
Dr. Crowns, what does this mean to you? The fact that we have a narrow timeline, August 24 to September 3. Her body was in advanced state of decomposure. I don't even know if we're going to get a COD, cause of death.
Well, with individuals that have been placed in trunks or have been murdered and then not found for a period of time, especially in a warm environment, you can have a significant amount of decomposition occur where the body begins to bloat or fill up with gases. It turns a discoloration of a green discoloration and almost gets a black color at some points. The skin starts to slip off. And this can obscure injuries, but it won't completely obscure gunshot wounds and knife wounds. It can actually make strangulations hard to detect. But all in all, you can still
Dr. Kendall
find
Crowns, can you see your monitor? As you're just
Can I
tripping, is the word just tripping off your tongue. You see who we're talking about, that little girl.
Now, much as I love Nancy, this is where I had to kind of mute it because she goes into him not having empathy, sympathy. He's the words is just rolling off his tongue. He's a doctor. This is what he does. He has no connection to Celeste. He's not even working on Celeste's case. She invited him up there to talk about, the levels of decomp within the human body. And, she takes a little bit left, but come on, this is one of the reasons why we love Nancy.
Of that nature. You can look at the neck structures, looking at the hyoid bone, which is a bone in the neck, looking for fractures, things of that nature. You can look at the skeletal system, looking for fractures of the bone. You can still see the skin surface, even though they're decomposing, and you can see injuries that look like gunshot wounds or stabbings. The only problem is when the body is decomposing, if you get insect activity, insects can alter how injuries will look, and they can also create their own burrowing into the body that can look like injuries themselves. So you're going to want to look for blood.
Okay, stop
at
right there,
those
please.
sites.
You are now talking about a very, very advanced technology, and it is forensic entomology, where the age of, for instance, a blowfly, a maggot, the age of the maggot can determine how long the body has been dead, because maggots or blowflies appear at a certain point in decomposition.
Yes, the life cycle of a blowfly can be helpful in trying to help pinpoint the time frame in which this individual died. Although the life cycle can be altered by things like cocaine, which can speed up the life cycle. So you have to take into effect the environmental conditions around it when you're making those determinations on how long that individual's been dead.
Okay, so before we go to the next part, that doctor right there, he is basically determining, or he's letting us know how they will find out how long her remains had been in that frunk. Basically, how long she'd been deceased.
Let's just let that soak in for a moment. Okay, Troy Slayton joining me. Guys, this is from David YouTube. That's not helping any potential defense.
So we're going to prosecute people now because of their art. We're going to prosecute people because of music videos that were heavily produced and edited and created by a team of creative experts. I don't think so, Nancy. He also had a casket on stage sometimes when he would perform. So just because he was obsessed with these morbid themes, that doesn't mean that he's a murderer.
I don't think
Or
that's really
wouldn't
helping
this-
anything that you bring up. He
Wouldn't
had a
this be the
casket.
perfect thing? Wouldn't
his
this
show.
be the perfect thing for somebody who wanted to frame him?
I'm totally
wouldn't
not
this be
hiring
the
you
perfect
anymore
thing
when
for
I
them to do?
when I murder someone. If you're going to bring up that I've been obsessing on a casket and then I commit a murder, no. No, Slayton. Freedom
He's
of
obsessed
art.
with it. He's obsessed with this
No,
anime
let's see
culture.
the video again. It's not just that he may be obsessed with death. Here's an MO. You know what that is, right? Modus operandi, method of death, method of operation. Can I see the video? This is not a casket. This is him dragging a body. This is not a casket. This is him dragging a body, as you say, for art's sake, and putting it in a trunk.
Now, we know right now, a lot of people are saying that David's art has reflected his life, or his life has reflected his art. However you want to put it. You know, the fact that we have this young girl deceased, the fact that he does talk about a lot of, strange things in his songs and the lyrics, and even, the song called Celeste and Romantic Homicide, a lot of things. That's basically what they are trying to discuss about this. And this man right here is just saying, look, he's an artist and this is what he's using. But we know, on the outside looking in, we know it doesn't help the case, A point for Nancy, it doesn't help the case, but a point for him if he didn't do it, it doesn't hurt the case neither. A lot of people do sing and even rap, even though we know David is not a rapper, but a lot of people do sing and rap about things that are not in their lives. Okay, moving on.
Amendment, you know what? Just stop with that. Dr. Angela Arnold is a psychiatrist. Dr. Angie, thank you for being with us. Yes, Troy Slayton, I knew he was going to fall back on the First Amendment there. But I want you to look again at your monitor and tell me who creates that? Who? I mean, think about Picasso. Remember how he treated women in his life like crap? And I'm putting that very mildly. And his art showed them dissected and in cubes and their bodies all ripped apart and very ugly, like their tongues hanging out and their eyes, one over here and one over here. Yes, that was freedom of expression too. And he also hated women. So help me out with this video. I'm not saying this is State's Exhibit number 1. I think we're going to have hard evidence if this ever goes to trial as to who murdered this little girl. But I want you to analyze this video.
So Nancy, the control and domination that can be shown in this are signs for the musician of hypermasculinity. So that is what we're seeing in his performance. That is what he is enacting. He is enacting the thoughts in his head that give him hypermasculinity.
I'm not really sure how you're equating depicting murder and hiding the body in a car trunk with masculinity, but that's for a shrink to figure out.
Nancy, because these are signs of control and dominance. What more control could you have over someone than wrapping a body up and putting it in the trunk of a car? To me, that is a sign of ultimate control.
Actually, Troy Slayton does have a good point. The video in itself proves nothing, and it can be argued it's just his art. So let's talk about hard evidence. I want to see the picture that some say is not Celeste, who happens to be, according to Melissa McCarty joining us, star of Killer Jeans podcast. Some are saying that's not her. So I guess it's somebody wearing her tube top and her jeans with similar hair. Can I see the video? I don't know how to act it out for you. With the same hairstyle, the same mannerisms, and sitting in the box reserved for friends and family. This clip from David on TikTok.
Photos circulating alleging Celeste was with David at his concert in Silver Springs, Maryland on August 24th. If true, these photos create a timeline from August 24th until her dismembered, decomposing body is found in David's Tesla in an impound lot on September 8th. It's reported the Tesla was parked on the street for a month before it was reported abandoned on September 3rd and towed on September 5th.
Girlfriend is found dismembered and decomposing in your Tesla?
Neighbors complained about a foul odor coming from the Tesla.
Neighbors now reporting that Celeste Rivas had been living with the artist known as David, it looks like D4vd, for a long time. So how old was she when she moved in with him? And what interest would he have in a little girl? Curious. That video we just showed you is him with her. That's her in life. She's dead, found decomposing in his Tesla trunk. I want to show you another video that we dug up. Take a look at this. The words, I got time to kill, you got time to fill, we got blood to spill all over the new car seats that I'm sleeping on.
So I'm going to pause Nancy right there. She can't get over some of the lyrics, of his music. And she's having a hard time processing that he may be singing about something that he may have done, and I pretty much know that she probably thinks that he has, committed this crime. Now, on the outside looking in, I'm going to say he definitely had acknowledgement of it. Did he actually commit it? Did somebody else do it? I think he had to have help. And I think the people that are around him, including himself, if he does know about this, were very sloppy. It was a very sloppy crime, I must add.
Tell me there's not going to be a tertiary crime scene such as where her body was dismembered. That said, all the focus is on the trunk. What about the rest of the car? What about the seats of the car? He sings about blood on the car seats. How do you process a scene like this? How long will it take, Tammy Ballard?
The rest of the vehicle is fair game. You are going to need to be looking up and you're going to need to be looking under. You always want to see what's on the ceiling of the vehicle. You want to see what has wicked through possible seats, because a lot of the cleaning that gets done doesn't actually get rid of any of the blood if this truly is the crime scene.
So basically here they just talked about if that Tesla was in fact a crime scene, how to go about trying to find if there is additional blood in the car and how to look for it, because basic cleaning definitely is not going to clean the crime scene. Now, in my other video, and I have to repeat it again if you didn't look at the video before this one, in my other video, I had to say, and I have to repeat myself, that I thought Teslas had 24-hour surveillance. So the person that brought whatever packaging that Celeste was placed in and put it in the frunk, that is the person right there. It seems like that would be so easy unless they were like all dressed in black and wearing a shiesty mask. I would think it would be very easy to do that. But I guess not, or at least they haven't said that publicly.
A musician known as David flees his $3+ million mansion. He was paying $20,000 a month and breaks a lease. So getting out of that mansion was more important to him than losing a lot of money.
Burke was living in a home leased by his manager, Josh Marshall. But since police served a search warrant looking for blood at the residence, the singer decided not to live in the $20,000 a month home. The owner, Mladen Trifunovic, says Marshall signed the lease in February, and he didn't know Burke was living in the house. After the raid, Trifunovic says they didn't want to live there anymore and are breaking the lease. The home was previously owned by Halle Berry.
You're not seeing a really good shot of it. The beautiful side of the front. Oh, by the way, these shots are from our friend Harvey Levin over at TMZ. Take a look at this. So he leaves and breaks a lease. Coincidentally, Melissa McCarty joining us, investigative reporter and host of Killer Jeans podcast. He breaks a lease to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. He may have had to pay out the lease. I don't know how many years. It was $20,000 a month. For how long? How many months? How many years? He breaks the lease and flees in the middle of the night.
Okay, I'm not on David's side. I'm not on anyone's side. But for one thing I can say is he didn't flee. I'm pretty sure the authorities know exactly where he is. Maybe he just didn't want to be there because people know where he is, and maybe they'll come to his house and want to ask questions or bring additional problems to him. I don't know why he left. He might be staying in a hotel somewhere, but I'm pretty sure the authorities know where he's at. When I first heard he flees, I was like, what? He done fled? Like, I thought he was literally on the run, but that is not the case. Now, what I want to get to, the former house that Halle Berry was living in. Now, first of all, oh my God, $20,000. Why are they renting something for $20,000 a month? Why don't you get a place and just buy it outright, right? Then rent something. Must be nice, right? But we know that that house was also in somebody in his camp. I believe his manager, right? It was in not his name. It was in somebody else's name. I'm sure David is fitting the bill for it, but it was in somebody else's name. Now, I want to talk about the security system that is on every door surrounding the house, even out on the streets. It goes as far out to that. In and out, in and out. The security system will show who was in that home. Besides David and Celeste, I'm pretty sure other people associated with David, that worked for David, as well as probably David's, so-called friends, I'm pretty sure they was in and out that home as well. So that's more additional footage of the scene. So on those dates around that time, I take it authorities are looking at anything between August 24th to August 8th of what's going on.
After the police conduct a raid at a home and remove all types of evidence, I wouldn't want to be there either. So I think that seems perfectly reasonable.
So you don't think there's any chance that Celeste was actually killed there? By the way, this video from our friends at Fox 11.
Oh, she certainly could have been. And I think that there's a lot of video. Look, we live in the digital age where everyone has a Ring camera. Everyone in that neighborhood has advanced security systems and CCTV. The police are going to be combing through everything. If a body was dragged out of that house, we're going to eventually have video of it. Either video from the house security footage itself, or by a neighbor, or by the Tesla, which also has about 6 cameras all around it that are recording at various times.
Because my follow-up question to you was going to be, why is this being investigated by robbery at LAPD? This is not about a robbery. This is about a homicide. But you're telling me an assistant district attorney has already been assigned to the case?
Yes, Robbery Homicide Division is the elite team of detectives that investigate not only robberies but homicides as well, especially those complex murder investigations. And I have information that an assigned prosecutor is already on board with this team of detectives. And that's awesome because they get to see things real time, not playing catch up at a later time.
I want to talk to you about the fact that you're saying LAPD robbery homicide. Much has been made online that LAPD robbery is investigating the case, but you're saying it's one and the same, robbery homicide?
Yes, it's actually named Robbery Homicide Division is the name of the division. It's a specialized unit that the best of detectives are assigned to this unit, and they investigate the
Okay,
most
good
complex.
to know. Because Castillo, I want to just put out that fire right now for our online sleuths. Don't stop sleuthing. Keep sleuthing. Again, Melissa, thanks for being with us tonight. What can you tell me about the existence of two Celestes?
This is fascinating, and again, one of those internet sleuthing phenomena that I've researched that the LAPD, I'm sure, is trying to track down. You have an older adult version Celeste, and then you have the minor Celeste Hernandez. But the most important information is we have one that was found dead in the trunk of his vehicle, and another you really have to investigate the extent of the relationship. Did he actually know both of them? Was he intimate with either of them? How did he know these two? And who is this other person? What does she have to do with the other?
Well, from what we've been told, Celeste Herrera, the 23-year-old, interacts extensively with David on social media. I'm referring to David Anthony Burke. The claim is that, and this would have to go to Dr. Angela Arnold, renowned psychiatrist, joining us. The claim is that Burke was obsessed with teen girl Celeste, and that as soon as she was gone, he's trying to replace her with a look-alike. Now, is that hard evidence? No, it's not. I'm sure Slayton's doing a backflip right now. But what do you make of that? That a Celeste look-alike is his online protege?
As you can see with these two young girls, there's a pattern in how they appear. I have a feeling that the younger girl, the younger Celeste, was much easier for him to control. He's now found someone that appears to look much like her, and we don't know what his motives are. His motives could be directly what we're doing here. When did these two girls
Another
exist?
issue, Dr. Angie,
Yes.
we don't even know the extent of their relationship. For all I know, it's just an online relationship where she interacts online. But
Exactly.
we're finding out. I want to look at the leaked lyrics of Burke's song, Celeste. Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Oh, Celeste. Now remember, 13 at the time they started their relationship. Oh, Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because I love you so much. Okay, Troy Slayton, yeah, he's not obsessed, is he?
Again, this is art, Nancy. You can't convict somebody based on art.
Okay, so that's where I'm going to pretty much wrap it up. So there's security around the Tesla, 24 hours. There's security around the home, 24 hours, plus neighbors has 24-hour security. So whoever was around Celeste Revis Hernandez, whoever was around her around that time is more than likely on camera. And I already touched her pregnancy in the other video. It's non-existent. I can't get into it in this video because they didn't even discuss it, because her pregnancy, once again, is non-existent. It doesn't exist in the public as of yet. So there you go. And again, you can watch Nancy Grace's video in its entirety, but I just wanted to get to the pivotal points. Thank you very much for looking.
Really know she was living with their family or that she was missing. We don't know that he knew any of this. You were bringing up modus operandi.
Under the law, you do know that doesn't matter. Every statutory rapist I've ever met said, I thought she was 18. Older.
Yes.
How is this any different?
We've all heard that, Nancy, of course. But what I'm saying is this just goes to his potential state of mind. And that's why it's important.
Okay. Important to you, not to me. She's dead. And I want to know who did it. And I want to remind everyone that the musician known as David, his real name is David Anthony Burke, is innocent. He stands innocent tonight. He will not be guilty unless he has been charged and proven guilty in a court